Good, starting. I already prepared some stuff. Demos? No one? Nobody, no demos. That's fine. There's a soccer game. We'll finish earlier. Oh, by the way, please don't share Antoine. Please don't share the score of the game, okay? I paused it. You see, it's paused. I don't know. I don't want to know. Not about Real Madrid. I don't care. Just, you know. So, not allowed to share the score or to talk about it. Or I ban you. Okay, good. So no demo. Status. This is Orchard here. Status. 10 days ago. Only that? Okay, weird. So I think I talked about it last week. It was Lombic fixed or Benedek fixed the Azure tests, correct the unit test for Azure on the dev branch. This is an update on the README. As a reminder, please do all the README updates on the master branch directly, unless it's related to the upcoming release. In this case, it's not, so it should be on the master branch. Yep.
Yeah, I did it on that because it's related to the current releases, and dev branch is what is displayed when you go to the project homepage on GitHub.
Oh, so I'm wrong then. That's weird. That's sad. Yes, because dev is our default branch, so it shows the README from the default. Crap. So whenever I ask people to do the README on the master, actually it's completely useless because we'll never see it until we merge. Well, we can do it on master and merge back master to dev, and that's how it should be done, maybe. This thing. Yeah, we could do that this way. We can. Yeah, I see. Okay, so dev is fine. Otherwise, it's master and merge back master to dev and 110x. Okay, good. I'll try to remember that for next time. Same thing. This is Sipke working on a PR, which was actually merged. Yes, we can delete this branch now. So this is fixing a distributed log service. In some cases, it will not acquire the log because it's not deleting the log. Then some pull request feedback. And because Sipke didn't want to apply the feedback, I applied it for him because he worked on a branch on the main repo, so we could help for those who had write access to the thing, and I helped. And then I clicked the merge button and it appeared here with this new magical merge button on GitHub under Sipke's name, which is good. You see, beautiful. One commit squashed on top of the target branch assigned to the original author. This is beautiful. So now what we can do and what you should do when you do things like this, go to branches, issue distributed lock, close, delete the branch. Okay? This was this one. Then someone from Lombic on 110x fixing this mime type. We trust you. I've never seen that though, but looks good. Non-running processing tasks during start from Jean-Thierry. Correct. My bad. I put a return here in the retry loop, in the activation retry loop, but it should not return, it should just break the loop. Here I'm returning, which means it will not execute this processing task, so this is bad. He fixed it. Adding identity Look, you see all these things, they are pull requests, but they still appear with one commit on the main branch. I like it. Without asking people to squash or without having to rebase. It's beautiful. So this one is adding identity part to taxonomy navigation menu item. This one is to ignore ChildAction in the output cache. There was a check in one of my methods, but not everywhere. So now it's fixed. Fixing a null ref exception in the session locator. So if the issue was that if the begin transaction fails somehow, the session won't be null, but the transaction will fail. And at some point, we will clear. So this thing will also be null if the transaction fails, because it's assigned after the transaction creation. So there will be a null ref exception which will prevent the session from disposed. So now more checks are done and it's better. So it was a good catch from a new committer, Jingyu Zhu, and with the help of Jean-Thierry. And actually I could see some of these null ref exceptions even on my logs, so that's not uncommon. So good thing. 110x. This is pushing to dev. This is fixing typos because Antoine, I think, created an issue with easy pick or first committer or whatever, and someone fixed it. Good. Then this, I pulled it because nobody tried it after 2 weeks, so this is a good way to try it, and it looks good. This is to prevent double clicks on publish and save buttons, or actually he rewrote it to put it on any submit button. Submit, yes. Okay. Support for snippet manifest. So this is Sipke's work, which also was from different commits squashed and merged on OneDinex to support the new snippet files. I was thinking, Sipke, maybe, so the YAML parser, fine. Yeah, I'm not sure we actually need to define an interface. Why abstracting that? Maybe just referencing the YAML parser library from the framework. And if anyone who needs YAML, then use the same NuGet package. That should work.
Yeah, that will work. There's no special reason to have the interface.
It works, but yeah, okay.
Do you remember how it's done for the JSON serializer, which is in the same folder?
And the same answer. I did also an abstraction, and later we talked about it during a meeting. I'm like, maybe just depend on JSON.NET because whatever we use JSON.NET. So
okay,
same thing. Abstracting all the things is not sometimes useful. If we don't expect or see any reason why would we switch implementations. Yeah. So YAML.NET. Then, oh, you didn't revert it. I commented on that.
Yeah, I asked because it was added by the NuGet packet, so I wasn't sure if I should remove it.
Well, yes, because I don't know why NuGet is adding it, because there is already a declaration for that earlier.
Okay. Well, that's fine, and I'll remove it.
See, JSON, and I don't know why it's not finding it, because it's there. You don't have JSON, the public key should be the same, 700, and then there is yours. Maybe because of the casing, it doesn't find it?
Probably.
So you say NuGet is adding it?
Yeah, I didn't do this myself.
Okay, I will ask the NuGet team if they know why. Maybe that's weird, that the case will matter. But yeah, you can remove it. There was a bug which fixed that.
Okay.
This is a merge. This is the pull request merge from this branch, which can be deleted. This is fixing a bug opened by Christian, which is that PDBs will get copied. I have some code which prevents that. I think, yes, there was some code actually to prevent it here when we create the package, but not during the deployment phase. So now I added to ignore PDBs and dll.config, and also updated the web project. Oh crap! I checked and it happened after that. So I broke it. Sorry, I need to remove it. So I also ignore the PDB files and the dll.config during. Bad me. Unacceptable. That's why we do PRs. Okay. So fixing PDB files so that they are not deployed or added during compilation, and removing references to deprecated modules, because Sipke found the issue that we remove the dependencies in the manifest files but not in the project files. So now it's done, and this is what I just did. And now if I look at issues, milestone 1.10.1, you will see that 41 were closed. I reassigned the 110x which were closed to 110.1, and one only is open, which is waiting for this pull request feedback. The issue with this pull request is that I asked him to change twice how it was done, but the two changes were breaking changes. So now we need to do a breaking change to be able to fix the issue, which I think we should. The breaking change will be probably to what I suggested. So Benedek, feel free to comment if you don't agree. What I suggested is that we expose a combine method in the iMedia library service, which will just delegate to the not the iService provider, but to the iStorage. To the storage provider, because we need the combine method to do things in the Media Manager. And usually what we did is the implementation was relying on iStorage provider, but we can't expose the iStorage provider from the Media Library service. That would be wrong. So I'm just suggesting to add a combine method on the Media Library, which will use the iStorage provider internally, but yeah, this will be a breaking change. Adding a new combine on the iMedia library service. At the same time, I don't expect people to implement iMedia library service, or if they did, in this rare case, the fix will be very simple, because combine will just be the current implementation of iStorage provider.combine. So this is what I'm waiting for. I hope it will be done soon. If it's not done by tomorrow, I will do it by what he did during his first commit, applying my comment and reassigning it to him. Yep. Yeah, because we are waiting that, and for him to sign the CLA. Reminder, if you still have the CLA required on your account, go to this URL, because sometimes you don't get the email, or you don't find the email which was sent. Okay? Questions? George, I commented on your PR, if you can. Fuck you, Rob. And yes, I saw joking, but still, I saw the score, I was like, what the fuck. And by the way, I hope you are not for Manchester City, right? Okay. Questions? No questions? No questions. Good. So yeah, as soon as we have this PR ready, and nothing. I'm watching all the issues every day, but I didn't see anything blocking for 1.10.1. This guy is crazy. Chantier is crazy. I'm like, I need one day every time to understand the issues he found, which are legitimate, but I'm like, wow. Yeah, I didn't find anything. This one scares me because there is huge issue in the title. I didn't understand the first time I read, so I need to read it again. Yeah, it's maybe I should ping Daniel just.
I just saw your comment, Sebastian. I responded.
I assume my comment was just to rebase on 1.10x, right?
Yeah, if you want me to do that, I can do that.
Oh, and you did the CLA, okay, because also the CLA was missing for you, I assume. Yes, I think, yeah, so the change looks fine to me. It's just not loading localization from not enabled themes, which makes sense.
Yeah, it loads all the localizations. So you have if you have 3 themes on your local installation, you have localizations from one bleeding into the other.
Yeah. So well.
Okay, I can rebase on 1.10.1.
It's not a common issue, but it's not breaking fix, and it looks good. So do that, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I put on another comment this morning. I asked 5 people to rebase on 1.10x because they could. And this is something I'm missing from GitHub. Like there is a PR. I like myself to edit the PR and say, no, target 1.10x. That's sad that we have to close the PR to do that, or a button to create a new one automatically. I don't know. Yeah. Otherwise, I will do it. So this, which leads me to the other thing. So there is a new feature though from GitHub. Block users from public repositories if you missed that. So now we can evict someone with behaving wrongly on the forum. So there is this option, so that's good. And also gallery allows registration. Yes, last week someone asked why the module was not appearing in the gallery, but it was using the old gallery, and on the new one you still could not register, which I said I would allow a few weeks ago and I completely forget, so I did that and I checked. So now if you go to the new gallery and you try to sign in, you have now the register button and you receive the email, it's validated, and he published a theme which we don't see here because maybe it's the latest one. I don't know where the new theme is. I'd like to see it. Bertrand, can you check in your emails? Because I don't want to open my emails.
What are we sorting on currently?
I don't remember. The number of downloads, I assume, from what I'm seeing here.
Yes, so that's why it's not on the...
Oh, wait. There is something like this. I'm sure I did it. It's just not exposed in the UI. Orchard, it will be very quick to check because we have good documentation on this thing. It's called code, fields, package version, package controller, sort, download, it's really, it's weird. I didn't do that. Nope. So I just have download, sorry.
I can't find that email for some reason.
Okay, so if anyone wants to provide a pull request to add some drop down to order things by whatever makes sense, like the previous, feel free to do that. Yeah, because here we should have at least latest. By default, it's relevance. I think there is Bootstrap inside. It's a Bootstrap theme. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, next time. Yeah, weird. Okay.
I found the
link or the name. He sent a link, and I checked it, and it was working. I could see the screenshots.
Okay, I found the thread, but for some reason I don't have all the emails in there, so
okay, good.
I don't know what happened.
That's fine. At least it worked for him, so it should work for everyone.
It's from George Ruby. I don't know how he registered. If you look for ROUBIE.
Yes.
I don't know if he published in his name.
No, in practice with that, I will do my email at about 3 or 4 o'clock. Oh, yeah.
No, that doesn't work. Later. Good. Topics or triage. Let's see. Let's look at the open issues and open pull requests, which might need some comments. Feel free to ask questions or submit new topics if you want, because we have time. So this one is a simple change. I just asked to rebase, I assume, because it's on dev, but it can go on 110x. The change is to just use the correct setting, TextPlaceholder setting instead of UrlPlaceholder in the fields, link fields, because the link has a URL and a text, and this thing is wrong. So this is a good change, but it's on dev, and I want it on 110x because it can go there. Let me see. Content item. So this one is complex. This one is complex, like every one that Jean-Thierry looks into, because he doesn't like the simple issues, he likes the complex issues. This one is about changing and fixing how we call create, update, new, publish, in which order. And there are two conflicting issues in in place here, which is that we don't want to create an item if it has to be cancelled afterward. Example, a comment. A comment is on the front end. There's a lot of spam, so people will submit spam. If we create the entry and then do a validation, there will be some transaction log because we'll have to cancel the transaction. So there won't be any record, but there will be some transaction log which will be added to the SQL Server, for instance. And so we'd like to prevent creating any transaction if it's not valid. But at the same time, it seems it's causing some other issues. So there is a long thread. I need to focus into it to understand all the pros and cons. But Jean-Thierry is on the case. You see, the solutions are compromises, are not actual solutions. So we have to check what compromise we want if you're interested into this matter. This again from Jean-Thierry, who is working on the default values based on our comments from the past weeks. And I think, yes, he had to create a new extension method. Well, at least he created a new extension method to check if the content item is new, because we just want to render the default value during the editor only if the content item is new, has never been saved, ever. And this is not sufficient, so he's created a is new one. Okay, and look at it, he's also updating all the spec flow test, which is good. So we'll have to follow on that. If you want to try it, feel free to do so. To do others plus squash. As a reminder, you don't need to squash anymore. GitHub does it for us. Milestone needs sign off. Issue 666 change 1, which we saw. Create user activity, allow to create user of different types. So this one I like to close. The idea is that when we have a create user activity, okay, to create a user from a workflow, is adding the possibility to define which content type we want to create for the user. I don't think we need that, because creating a custom user type is very uncommon. Creating a custom user in a workflow is also uncommon, so this means two uncommon things. So, and it's adding complexity, like you want to use the activity, which you usually never do, in common websites, and then you can select which content type you want to create. So that's weird. So I suggested in the comments just that he creates his own create custom user activity in his own module. I don't think we should change the current implementation. I don't see any usage for that, apart from his own usage. Maybe he's here, Sergio. No, I don't see him. So, oh, no. So what do you think? Close? Accept?
I agree that it should be closed. It's, well, as you said, it's very specific.
God talked to me. I heard the voice. Signing, this one though is different, and I need to understand the issue. Signing in workflow activity phase. So this is an existing activity, signing user activity. Okay. Can you, Sipke, explain us when we want to use that? Oh, it's if you do dynamic forms and the dynamic form takes user and password, and so exactly. You can. Okay, so this is to create custom
Login forms and user registration forms. You can
Yes.
create them yourselves without having to code anything, but you would need these activities then.
Okay. So the bug that Sergio found is this one. Oh, I wanted to do control. Okay, this one, which is, so to summarize, yeah, it's pointing to Sipka's blog post about doing that. So if you log in using this dynamic form, apparently at some point, when we sign out, we set some last logout UTC. Okay? Which reminds me, we accepted this PR? Or this feature? Okay, weird. So last logout UTC, and when we log in, well, when we have a cookie, a valid cookie, we check that the last logout UTC is not after the value of what is in the cookie, something like that. Okay, we ensure that the cookie is not was not created before we last logged out. Correct. So if we log out, any cookie which is existing won't work again. But the issue is that with user dynamic forms, it's not updating that, the last login apparently, or yes. And so if you sign out, no, if you come back with a cookie, it will say, no, this is a wrong cookie. But actually it's a good cookie because we never signed out. It's just that this thing doesn't have a value or something like that. So what he's doing is, in the activity, is calling logging in and logged in. Okay, so this thing is to create the actual current user that will be the current user in the current context. But this thing is to send the event to say is logging in and is logged in. Okay, so this looks good to me, but I wondered. So this fixes the issue and this looks good to me. I'm wondering if this thing should actually just mean when someone actually does the login, but because this is a workflow, I'm not sure. I asked a question, which is where is my question? I didn't ask a question, or I reverted the question. So the question I have is, when do we initialize the last logged out or last logged in value? Do we do it inside the event or inside the signing call? I assume inside
the service codes, probably.
Yeah, what service does the last logout, or maybe that's this thing, a user event handler. Let me check. So this is just for the trail. Oh, but there might be other implementations, so. Yes, users event, this one. Audit trail, content permission, so that must be this one. Yes, this is this one. Okay, logged in, logged. So this is exactly the role of the service, just to store when it was logged in and logged out. Okay, so I assume this fix is good. Yeah, it looks good to me. And it should not break anything. It's just sending a new event. And I show you how I do that. So merge. This is the issue. And now in GitHub we have two options: squash and merge, or the old one, but I disabled it for Orchard. So confirm squash and merge. And you will see fetch all. What? You did that? What have you done?
Just now.
What have you done?
I followed your instructions, got rid of the YAML parser, removed a lot of codes because of that, and used it directly. So I'm using the YAML parser and NuGet packets directly from where it's needed, right there in the snippet element harvester.
So you can revert it?
Sorry, you want to refer this?
Yes, because you should do it in 110x then.
But this wasn't this added? Oh, this was added to 110.
Yes, correct.
Oh, sorry.
Fine.
I will fix.
Almost perfect. Okay, and this is now there under Sergio. Good. So this is the bug which was fixed. I will assign it to 110.1 because it's done, and close it. Okay, so this one I added a comment. Is there? So this fixing localization on display name. So remember the issue that if we create things from the admin with display name, this display name is used on the front end but is never localized. So if you create a field called currency, it won't be localized if you use the display name directly. So what it's doing is localizing the value that we have in the database. So if it's currency, the display name, it will try to localize the word currency. And it will try to localize it from a localization file which should be for this view. That works, but this is something we said we should not do. Or not completely like this. I'm sure we talked about it. I could not find the issue related to that, but we talked about, so it was not a long time ago. So my suggestion was to create a feature that where we can enter custom localized strings for all languages. Like I will add currency and then all the translations for the active languages. And this will be harvested by the localization as new localized strings, not from a PO file, but from the database. So when we load Orchard, it will also load all the localizations from the database. And this way, we can change the localization strings for these elements dynamically, because it depends on the data you create on your site. It's not some file or some modules. It depends on your site, like content types, display names, things like that. And we could also have some interface to provide the values that we can harvest, like the text field would be able to provide all the display name for all the text fields, so that this UI can say, oh, you can translate currency because it's the field name of one of the text fields. And you see, so if someone can find the issue, if we created one, otherwise we should create one, and we should do it this way, which means it will be compatible with this change, but I think it should be part of the same thing. So when we create the feature, we also create the providers for all the fields, for the content types, that will gather all the translatable strings, and with the UI to edit the strings, and also with the change in the views to take that into account. And then we can do that for more modules if we need. But at least for the content types, like text fields and content types, we should do that. Anyone disagrees with that? Okay, so I will just create the issue. by displaying all these dynamic strings. And localization provider to load the strings from the database. Okay, localization provider, and change the views to use T on these strings. And I don't know if it's, I assume it's doable, so that this localization provider would, based on localization, it will add it as a root context so that it will always fall back to this one. Because I don't think we can call T with a custom context like T, I don't know. Yeah, and I don't want to create another T for that. So I should that would work. Submit new issue, and feel free to tag this one from the other ones which says that we can't create that, we can't do that. So design comment. It's a pull request. I will up comment here. Nobody is saying anything about it, so I assume you agree. Good. This one is the one we are waiting to ship 1.10.1. Done. Let's see the issues. We checked some already. This one should be closed. We accepted the pull request. I don't see any reference to it, so comment and closing. Bit gaming. This one, close issue. What is it about? Real editor elements are not extensible. I want to add a particle A to a content element. Yep, it's a feature proposal. HTML layout element is not identifiable. Okay, so feature request through an event when all layout elements have been loaded. That's weird. Okay, Sipke, your issues. This one, so I'm the only one who thinks it's ugly?
No, you're not the only one. But you're the only one who is complaining about it. Is it? Oh, Zoltan says it's intentional.
Yes, that's what, because I remember when unintentionally, like 3 years ago, when I added the alternates on the other list, it was also added this way. I intentionally removed that because it was ugly, and apparently it was intentionally re-added. Okay, you see? And I commented on that. You see, feature request alternating row colors for content type and partitor. It was a feature request which we triaged as Orchard
okay,
feature
but that's
version.
about alternating row colors. That's not about the underline, which is ugly.
No, that's exactly what it says, and this is why we politely moved it to Orchard feature version to say we'll think about it. We'll think about it later. Okay. And this looks better. Yeah, this is better. I don't like the padding on the right, but this looks better.
Yeah. Justman says the new theme fixes this issue, so.
What?
Who cares?
Yeah. Yes, but still, when we have the new theme, but it's like not fixing a bug now and saying it's fixing Orchard too. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's true, of course. Yeah, that's fair.
So good thing it's fixing the new one. So script, please provide a pull request with your code. But can you? It looks weird on the right. You see, the remove is either the remove.
Some padding there.
Yes, either the remove needs to have the margin. I assume that's the solution. To add some padding or some margin on remove itself to push it on the left.
Yeah, he agrees. He says it needs some fine tuning.
And if you do that, okay, that doesn't look weird anymore. I will be fine with that. It will solve the issue I just created. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks. Questions? No questions, comments, no comments. Everyone is happy? You had some good spring break?
No, but I'm still happy.
Okay, so we'll close the meeting earlier because there is a soccer game and we talked about everything and nobody has any question. Thierry, I commented on your PR. We'll take your PR once we take the Jean-Thierry's default values. But we want it. It's about content cloning. I'd like Zoltan to comment about it, but I don't think he saw that. And that's it. Okay, good. No questions. Everyone is good. I want to upgrade from 1.9. Please do so. One issue blocking, right? Yes, 1.10.1 is blocked by one issue. We have half of a PR. It's almost ready. If it's not ready by tomorrow, we'll do the PR ourselves. It's a simple issue to fix. Well, Benedek will fix it, I'm sure. Benedek, do it. And then we can ship 1.10.1. Good? Thanks everyone. See you on Thursday with the 1.10.1 release.
Sounds good. See you later, guys.
Thanks everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.